topic is, he's a 10 or not.
Why is she looking at me, y'all? Like, I'm a 10. So she not talking
We
to me.
know that he thinks he's a 10.
I'm a 10.
But no, you know, it's a lot of average dudes out here expecting this king treatment from us queens. A lot of guys out here, they are a 6 or 7 at best. And they feel like we're supposed, first of all, you're approaching a 10.
What? Did she really just call herself a 10? Did she really just say you're approaching a 10? Fellas, I have to ask you guys, is this woman a 10? Comment your thoughts under this video. Now, while you're commenting your thoughts, I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Wall Watch, where we see how women respond to hitting the wall. Today, the question is really simple. Does a 10 actually exist? And if it does, how old is the 10 really? Remember, join this conversation. Also, like the video, then subscribe to the channel because I'm posting daily content. Now, we're gonna go ahead and finish this video clip. This video comes from the Unspoken podcast. So let's get into it. Here we go.
So she not talking
We
to me.
know that he thinks he's a 10.
I'm a 10.
But no, you know, it's a lot of average dudes out here expecting this king treatment from us queens.
1, 2, 3.
A lot of guys out here, they are a 6 or 7 at best. And they feel like we're supposed, first of all, you're approaching a 10. You're approaching
I'm glad she laughed that off. I'm really glad that she's laughing this off because calling herself a 10 is crazy work. For instance, does she know what the average 25-year-old woman looks like versus the beautiful or gorgeous 25-year-old woman? Does she know what they actually look like? Because if she did, she wouldn't even put herself in the category of a 10. Anyway, let's continue.
And then you want them to treat you like you're a 10. So tell me, Melita, what do you think about that? Especially, and I would say this is probably more prominent over 45. When you're dating over 45, these men got gout. They got a bad knee.
She is going hard, y'all.
That gout. They got a bad knee. Yes. They sleep with a CPAP machine. They do. I've been there, done that. I'm just saying, they do. You are a 7 at best, boo.
But your life does not. Oh my God.
And then you want to tell me, oh, you need to do this. And you got me straight. Tripping. Because at the end of the day, think about it. When we're in our 40s, we can date the daddy or the son. So why can't
she can date the dad or the son? No. Let's be clear about this once again, because it sounds like she needs to be level set. She can be put through the mattress by the son, and she could potentially get money from the dad. But here's the thing. Will either one of these men take her serious? Now, when I ask that question, maybe I should always put for the men she's interested in. For the men that she's interested in, for the son that she's interested in, would he take her serious or would he treat her like one that's on the roster? Meaning she has to pay like she weighs, meaning she is going to be his cougar, his sugar mama. Now, for the father that she is interested in, right? Because we have to keep saying that. Would he take her serious? Because let me tell you, there's a reason why older men do not want older women.
Care you? What am I here for? We just got back.
Has a lot to do with their attitude, the attitude that she's showing. She's, you know what? Let's continue. Let's continue.
Today, when we can date the son.
Yes. I agree. I agree. She is funny. I agree. I feel like dating over 45, 40, 50, whatever the case may be, is like shopping on a clearance rack. Like,
not clearance.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm done. Listen, I'm done. Clearance rack? This woman had the nerve to say clearance rack. Again, I asked, do they even understand what the average 25-year-old woman looks like? And then go ahead and put up the most beautiful 25-year-old woman. See, what we all tend to get wrong is we think that there's a such thing as a 10. Now, the men that I usually talk to, we all come to a consensus where we realize that a 10 is an illusion. The highest you can really get is like a 8, maybe a 8.5. What gets that woman in the category or in the territory of her being a 9 is actually her personality, but that comes with the looks. That comes with her being fit. Now, if you're just talking about your own personal preference, that's a completely different ball game. The things that make a woman a 10 in her mind, especially these women here, right? I believe these women are all 50 or close to it. I do not believe that these women are in their 40s, but whatever, who cares? Anything that makes a woman think or believe that she's a 10 is bought, replaceable, or has to be bought again, which still
never going to get separated again.
Which still means that it's replaceable. Now, I'm saying that because, again, there is no such thing as a 10. So her talking about you're approaching a 10 is crazy work to me, crazy. Just like she talked about, or she's disrespecting men by saying men want king's treatment. Here's the thing. How many kingdoms actually exist? Now, with these kingdoms that exist, how can a kingdom exist if there is no king? How can a woman be a queen if there is no king? How? Like, what is it that she has in her mind? Okay, fine. Maybe that's too logical, right? So then let's just talk about what a man means by king treatment. Respected, cherished, honored, revered, right? Those are the things that men are talking about. You honor me, right? Because you as a woman, you want to be treated a certain way. You want queen's treatment. Because you want queen's treatment, that means you want to be treated a certain way. Again, this is why older men do not want older women, because they are stuck in their ways, because they believe that they look better than they actually look. Now, all of the disrespect for this woman talking about they got gout and they got messed up knees and they need all these different machines to help them breathe at night. Well, let's be honest. Do you think that this woman is in perfect health? Does this woman look fit? Does this woman look slim? Does this woman look like she has her own hair on her head? Listen, when I bring you guys Wall Watch, is really to show you how a woman is responding to life, right? How she's dealing with her past traumas, how she's dealing with her past experiences. The majority of women raise their standards as if that's going to help them get a better man. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, did she actually get a man that reached those high standards, or that's living up to those high standards? Or did she have to settle? The reason I'm asking if she had to settle is because the next question that comes after that is, how does she feel about her settling? Now, let's go ahead and flip that around really quick. Is the man happy with the woman that he had to settle for? Because if you think that you're gonna run into a 10, right, which again is impossible, because a 10 means that you're flawless. This is the reason why the men I talk to, we come to that consensus and understand, hey, there's always going to be something wrong with her. She's probably not going to have the length of hair. She's probably not going to be in shape. She's probably going to have something that's a little off, right? Again, a 10 means that you're perfect. And let me say this, being a 10 has nothing to do with you being confident. You can be confident and not be a 10. That is possible, right? I think it's a real immature thing to think that you have to be a 10 in order to be confident. Those two things do not go together. Wall Watch is also not about shaming women. It's literally being able to look at the woman and say, is it worth dealing with this woman? All her traumas, all her experiences, is it worth dealing with her? In most cases, you're gonna find out that it's not worth it. right? It's not worth it. And what women have a hard time realizing is there are 2 million more women than there are men. 2 million more of them. So this attitude that she has is not going to help her, and it's not going to benefit her, not for the man that she wants. Now, again, if she's going to go ahead and settle for a guy, then that's different. But you'll see, and he's going to see that he's not going to be happy with how she's treating him. Here's the truth. Majority of us are average. The majority of us are average. The things that make us not average are the things that make you stand out. For instance, when you ask a woman, what does she want to date? How tall does he have to be? How much money does he have to have? That percentage of men that women describe, those men are less than 10%, which means 90% of the time, you're not going to even see that. That means you're not even going to come across it. For instance, if a 10 actually exists, you will probably never see her or never have access to her, because the guys that see her and know that she's a 10, those guys have her put up. That woman is a kept woman somewhere far away from, let's just say, reality, right? The reality that that woman lives in is nowhere near the reality that these women are living in, meaning she probably doesn't have a job, she's probably not working, and guess what? She got money coming in like she is working. That lets you know that you are average. And listen, here's the problem that I have. You being average doesn't mean that you can't be a confident individual. You can be a confident individual and be a phenomenal 5. Because again, when I look at these women, all of them, I would not put these women higher than a 5 or a 6. Like 6 is like literally a stretch. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, level setting is important. It's important because that's how you get the best out of life. When do you actually get to see if this woman is actually a 10? When she gets comfortable, right? When she's settled in and settled down, that's when you get to see if she's actually a 10, because she's showing up, or she's waking up to you not camera ready. She's walking around the house. She's cooking and cleaning around the house with no makeup on. Again, not camera ready. It's completely different when you see a woman who is camera ready, because what you're seeing is everything that she had to do to make herself appear like she's a 10, meaning you're looking at an illusion. You're looking at something that's not real. Now, again, when it comes to women wearing makeup, the reason I don't like makeup is because when women give me hugs, it ends up all over my clothes, right? I can't stand that. Then the next thing is the hair, right? Like if you're dealing with a woman, right, and she has a certain hairstyle, guess what? You can't massage her scalp. You can't massage her scalp because she has so many things that are on top of her head and in the back of her head, to where, you know, the best you can do is just kind of like just pat her skull. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't actually rub her scalp. You can't massage it, right? Now, for all the young guys out there who don't understand what massaging a woman's head is, listen, I just gave you a bit of advice. You want a woman to melt in your arms? Go ahead and massage her scalp. All of the problems that this woman brought up as far as men go, as far as, you know, men being older women have some of the same exact problems, except for they have that thing called menopause, right? Menopause, dealing with menopause is terrible. Now, the reason it's terrible is because her hormones and her body temperature is off. Guess what? She's not as flexible as she was in the bedroom, as she was when she was in her 20s. She's nowhere near as flexible. In fact, she might not even understand why you want the lights turned off, right?
You want to G with the big boys. Let me do it, get the
right? You may not listen. I don't want to try to go in on her like she went in on men, because I don't really think it's necessary. And again, this whole channel is not about shaming women. It's more so about understanding women, but more importantly, understanding yourself and knowing when to move on. Like, that's literally the point and the purpose of my channel. This is why I always refer back to my message, which is adapt to dating. It has changed. Women are completely different than they used to be, because they can get all these detachable and attachable parts. They think that this makes them a 10. Men, we're literally looking at it and saying, I don't like that. Nah, I don't like that. Dang, why you keep drawing your eyebrows on? Like, today you got one eyebrow higher than the other, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta kind of go back in the bathroom and just redo the whole thing. Like, you know, like one side is higher than the other side, right? Like, women, for whatever reason, don't seem to understand this, but men, we're literally looking at you. So it's funny to me, because it's like, okay, wait a minute. She says she's a 10. Now, does it matter if men call her a 10, or does it matter if women are calling her a 10? The reason I'm asking that is because who is it that she's interested in? Is she interested in women, or is she interested in men? That's an important question. Again, this is why I keep saying, fellas, the dating game has changed. Relationships, commitment, marriage, it has completely changed. When that woman is unhappy, that's when she's ready to leave. And guess what? Women, they live in their emotions, so they're constantly changing. All of that stuff is constantly changing, especially when they get older, because now, because of the menopause, they're even more irritable. So because they're more irritable, you got to focus on you, your mind, your body, and your finances. Get that together, because the majority of older men do not really want to deal with older women. And this is the reason why. This attitude, this level of delusion, like, we want to call it confidence, but this is literally delusion for her to even think that she's a 10. Because, and let me say this, it's nothing wrong with her thinking whatever she wants to think about herself, but to then put other people down as if she's not down there is crazy work. But with that being said, I got a question for you. What do you think? Comment under this video. Remember, when you are watching these videos, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Now that this video is done, do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.